Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. We made it. It's Friday. Oh my goodness. There's been so many events. Had two great events yesterday. Big thanks to the Ottawa Business Journal, the Ottawa Board of Trade. They put on the Best Employers of 2023 event yesterday at the Shaw Centre. It was absolutely amazing. And then headed over to the Fairmont Chateau Laurier. My friend Aaron putting on his Rendezvous networking event and presented a check to Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa for $3,000. So big congratulations to everybody that you know put so much hard work into both of those events. Well, we have a great show for you today. Going to talk a little Ottawa 67s on the show. Colin Zappia joining me. They're kicking off the season tonight. Another exciting season. It looks like maybe the favorite in the East, but we'll get Colin's perspective on that. We're going to talk divorce, of course, a serious issue, but we're going to talk about the clean divorce on the show. Talk some theater. Got a couple of great comedians as well. But we start today in the kitchen with one of my favorites, Janelle, joining me here, owner of Janelle's Kitchen. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing great, and I understand you've had a busy summer, which is a good problem to have.
Yes, just starting over with the kitchen and getting everything in order.
Yeah, let's go back to your first, to your history, because my understanding is, like, cooking didn't come to you until sort of later on in your life, right?
Right. So when I was 16 years old, actually, I came to live here in Canada from St. Lucia, and I started cooking with my aunt at the time, and that's when I realized I actually love doing this thing, creating different recipes. And I remember making banana bread with my grandmother, and that's where the joy of it came, like that banana bread. So
nice.
I just put everything like that into the cooking.
And then you started a business, right? Caribbean Spice. That's the last time you were on, but you've done a little bit of a brand change. Tell us about that decision.
Yes, so I wanted to focus more on the cooking than the spices, because I realized every time I went to the markets, everybody's like, do you do catering? Do you do catering? They were interested in the spices, but they really wanted the cooking. So I decided, okay, let me bring out the cooking. So that's where Janelle's Kitchen came along.
Nice. And we're going to cook in the kitchen today. What are we making here?
We are. So I have made this honey jerk wings, which everybody raves about. And I've already prepared the wings. So the wings are very easy to prepare. So I'll just show you. All you need is Janelle's Kitchen green seasoning and Janelle's Kitchen jerk marinade and a little bit of salt, and you're good to go. That's all you need in the seasoning. And you put it in the air fryer or the oven. Now, I've already prepared the wings. What we're going to do today is make the honey jerk sauce for it.
Okay, right on. Let's do it.
We're going to start. Now, you're going to do the cooking.
I'm going to do the cooking.
You're going to do the cooking.
So it's Derek's kitchen, not Janelle's kitchen.
It's Derek's kitchen.
Well,
so
that feels pretty good, friends. Okay.
I'm going to let you start. So the first thing that we do is add the butter to the pot.
All right. You got it. And something else you've done, Janelle, you have to tell everybody you've partnered up with Universal Grocer, and they are...
Use this one.
Use that one? Okay.
Yes.
How much?
Just 1 spoon.
Okay.
That's enough. Yeah.
Okay, I won't go overboard. Right, we'll let that heat up. Yeah, so you partnered with Universal Grocer. They're celebrating their 1-year anniversary. But before we get to the anniversary celebration, how did that partnership come to be?
Funny enough, I just walked into the store and I started telling them about my spices, and they're like, you know what, we're looking for somebody to cook. I'm like, I cook.
Well, there's a perfect match right away.
And the rest is history. I just walked into the store, and a lot of people ask me this question: how did you get involved with them? I said, I just walked into the store.
See, that easy. So when you say you cook with them, do you cook in store? Do you do sort of special events with them? How does it work?
No, so I am there Monday to Friday, 11 to 5 p.m. And I have a little booth there where I serve food. Right there, so you can come in and get your hot meals on lunch or on your way home for dinner, Monday to Friday.
And so what style of cooking are you doing there? How would you describe it?
So the funny thing is that I love all different styles of cooking. So sometimes it's Caribbean, sometimes I do Filipino, sometimes it's all different styles of cooking. Whatever I feel like in that week, I make the menu for the week.
Well, and there you are in a grocery store, right, with everything that you need right at your fingertips. It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
All right, so this is finally heating up here. What next?
Okay, so you're going to take your jerk.
Okay, this is the one here?
That's the one.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to pour.
How much?
Just go
Okay, you do. Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
And you're going to take your spoon and you're going to stir it up.
Just going to stir that in. All right. Here we go.
Stir it up. Let it heat up.
Okay.
And then you can add your honey to it.
This is simple. This is what I like about what you do, right? Is that
simple.
You don't need 1,000 ingredients all the time. Sometimes chefs sort of overwhelm you with too much.
So you go crazy.
Is that good? Go crazy.
On the honey.
Okay.
All right.
I'm in. I'm all in, Janelle. So you've got the anniversary coming up, but you're not just going to be cooking. You've got some other things planned. What have you got planned over there at Universal Grocer?
Tomorrow we're going to have karaoke. We're going to have music. We're going to have different gifts. So Janelle's Kitchen is giving away a free meal. There's going to be a $50 gift certificate for the grocery store and a lot of other gift baskets from different suppliers there. So we do have a raffle. It's $2 per ticket, and you can purchase it today or tomorrow at the grocery store.
Wonderful. And did I hear you're doing karaoke?
Karaoke.
You're doing karaoke?
Yes.
Are you singing?
I might. I just might. Yeah.
You're like the singing cook. Yeah. That would be fantastic. So for people that haven't been to Universal Grocer, tell us a little bit about them. I mean, they're a great small sort of independent grocer, right?
They are, and everything that you're looking for. What I love about them is that there's this drink called Chubby, where when I grew up, I love that drink. It's like a soft drink. It's a little bottle like that. And when I saw it, I got really excited because the last time I saw it was back home.
Right.
So no matter where you're from, everything that you need in that grocery store, it's there. And what I love about them is that if somebody comes and they're looking for something, they order it for them. So, yeah. So,
you know what? They came on the show.
They did.
They were on the show. Now that you're explaining all of this, I remember I remember them explaining, the philosophy behind it is they wanted to bring the food because, we're a multicultural society, right? A lot of immigrants come into this country and then they miss things, like you just said, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Do we add this, the wings now?
Soon we're gonna add it soon.
Right. We got about 90 seconds left.
Okay.
So what kind of consistency do you want here?
So we want like a
little bit thicker than that?
Yeah, so we're going to add the wings.
All right. Here we go.
Quickly.
I'm moving. You need a sous chef? What do you think? You and I could make a pretty good team down there.
We could,
right?
Yeah, we could. And while that is done,
I'll look after this while you grab that. Oh, see, look at how it's nice and sticky. That's perfect.
This is your plate here.
Oh, beautiful.
And then it's pretty much done.
That's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
It's that easy.
You just add it to your plate right here.
Okay. What else have you got on the plate here?
So today I have some rice and peas.
Okay.
I have some plantain, and I have some sautéed mushrooms here.
Wonderful.
Derek, you're making a mess.
So. It's the kitchen. You're supposed to make a mess, right? If you're too careful, you're not having fun in the kitchen. Remind everybody again, happening tomorrow. You're located down there at 140 George Street at Universal Grocer, and the timing of it?
1 to 6.
1 to 6 o'clock, and people can find your spices at Universal Grocer, obviously.
Yes.
They better be there or there's trouble. Janelle, real pleasure, and congratulations. I know it takes a lot of time and effort to sort of rebrand, but I know now you're doing what you've always been passionate to do, so congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
All right, get on down there, 1 to 6 p.m., 140 George Street at Universal Grocer, and say hi. Tell Janelle you saw her on the show. We'll be right back after this. Nicely done. Look at that.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
$20. $20. Hi guys, it's Maggie, Mrs. Calabash and Derek, and whoa, we're back. Rogers Television. So please watch us on Rogers Television. We've just done our first show. It was Anytime Shrimp Special and an Asian salad. So please remember, Rogers Television, Mrs. Calabash Cooks. I'll see you guys, and it's great to be back. Bye.
Little brown girl, little brown girl.
Hey, I'm Picasso Win Von Teef. I'm so happy to be involved with Encore Ottawa Season 3. I can't wait for you guys to see what I have in store for you.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Well, we're back to discuss another one-year anniversary, an exciting anniversary, but a really interesting history behind it as well. I'm talking about Thrive Thrift Store, and joining me to talk more about that is Hope Wood. She's the Business Development Manager of Social Enterprise at Thrive Select Thrift out there on Merivale Road in the Emerald Plaza, right? You're out there in the Emerald Plaza.
Yes, right in the Emerald Plaza
right
next to the library.
Let's talk a little bit about the history behind this, because it started, was it bins, like clothing bins?
Yes, clothing bins.
Okay.
We started in 2015 when our executive director, Susan Ingram, had a vision. She needed to find a new way to fundraise.
Right.
Because people weren't giving the same way. So she thought, why not do some clothing bins throughout the city, and we'll do wholesale. But she always had a vision to open a store because it would generate more funds for the programming at Big Brothers Big Sisters. And then in 2020, we started our online store. And 2022, we started our actual physical store at Emerald Plaza.
And I hear it's been just like an amazing response, right, so far?
It's been a wonderful response from the community. We've had loads of customers come in, other community partners. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk. I mean, because when you know, some people think thrift and they think to themselves, oh, you know, it's, you know, hey, here I go. We're going to go into the thrift store. I'm not going to find anything nice. You guys have nice stuff.
We have wonderful items.
Right?
The people that are donating are really giving us quality items, and we keep our prices low for that. It's for everybody.
So yeah, well, I mean, what is your, I mean, and there's something for everyone here. I'll just showcase some of these while we talk, but what's kind of the criteria if people are donating items to you?
For sure. We want to make sure that those items are clean, that they have no stains, no rips, and that they're in really good quality.
Right.
So want to be careful of makeup stains on women's clothing, kids' clothing, the stains in the front, the knees.
Or if you're in TV and not just women wearing makeup, you might find some on the men's. Tell me about some of these outfits we're looking at here.
So this is a little girl's outfit. Probably would fit about an 8-year-old. We have a nice pair of jeans matched with a really nice fall top.
That's
and then a
cute.
pea coat, and we can match it with a little necklace for her.
Yeah, look at that. That is so adorable, the pea coat.
And that outfit would be less than $30.
Amazing. So it's the funds that are raised, does that go to a specific programming at Big Brothers Big Sisters?
So it all goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters. It goes into our youth mentorship program, which is community-based. But we also have our Meet You in School. And now we have Big Possibilities, which is at Thrive Select Thrift. We have groups doing interview skills, brand content.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. And we also do our co-op program, so we're teaching employable skills at the store.
Yeah, tell me about some of those skills. Like, what are young people learning at the store?
So young people are learning how to manage a business, people management. We're also doing lots of cash register, pricing items, how to merchandise items in a store.
Right.
So we're learning quite a few things.
Yeah, learning leadership, learning responsibility. You know, we could go through all of these, but I just wanted to point out too, not just clothes, right? But you have the accessories that go along with it.
For sure. So our accessories are kind of our top quality items.
Okay.
So we get a lot of Coach. I love Coach items. They're my favorite.
Well, that's good. That's very nice.
We got Zara boots. Sometimes we get new with tags. Regular price $169. We're only selling them for about $45. Yeah,
right.
So we do get quality items.
Let's go back through some of those programs. You know, we just touched on a couple, but maybe you can expand on some of those programs for us, Hope.
For sure. So our community-based program is a volunteer adult will meet a child that's facing adversity, and they will meet for 2 hours per week and they'll go coffee shopping or go to coffee. They'll go shopping. They might do go out to do puzzles together.
Right.
Yeah, anything really. Maybe some homework help if like that's what they want to do. But it's really just making a friendship.
Yeah.
So if anyone's thinking of being a mentor, we are definitely looking for mentors in the Canada and Stittsville area right now.
Okay, and are you looking for any specific type of mentors? Like I know sometimes you have more female mentors than you do male mentors. Are you
We're
looking
always
for...
looking for males
Okay,
specifically,
okay.
but anyone is welcome to apply to be a mentor.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
You have some exciting events coming up. Let's talk about some of those events. We'll start first at City Hall. What have you got planned?
We have a thrift fashion show at City Hall. We'll be joined with a couple other thrift stores as well. So we have Resource joining us, St. Paul's, and Plato's Closet.
Okay.
That's going to be super fun. And then we're going to do another event, the Women's Show,
right,
which will be on October 21st and 22nd. And then from there, we're going to be doing a disco bus out to Merrickville.
Okay, people. Just listen. Our friend Catherine Landry over at Ladies Who Lunch, she came up with this concept.
She did.
And I've talked to a couple of people who have been on this. So the idea is, right, you all get on this disco bus. It's great fun. And then you go to these, small towns, right?
We go to small towns, yeah.
Right.
We've gone to Arnprior, Almont, Perth, and Kentville. And now we're going to be going to Merrickville, and we're going to do a holiday bus back to Kentville again.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you haven't grabbed a ticket, definitely do that.
So what do proceeds of the tickets then, some of the ticket sales go back to Big Brother, Big Sister? Is that the idea?
We actually are looking for people to shop that morning. So we have 80 new customers that come into our store. They bring donations.
So you start there.
Yeah, we start at Thrive.
You shop there, and then you get on the bus, do a little disco dancing, and make your way to Merrickville or Kempville.
Definitely, and there's always prizes on the bus. There's discounts at other stores. It's really just an overall great time.
You and I were at that great event last night, Rendezvous. I mean, how special is it that people like that do those third-party events to give back to organizations like you?
They're so important to organizations like us. They're not intensive in labor for us, which really matters. It saves on cost. But then to have someone match our donation from there, last night was absolutely insane. It was wonderful.
Yeah, so and I forgot to mention that off the top of the show. You're right. So we had the check presentation for $3,000, and then Aaron sort of whispers to me and says, "Hey, let's see if somebody would match it." So I'm on the microphone. Anyone willing to match it? And this woman, Nick Lemieux, I believe her name was, raised her hand. Raised another $3,000 just like that.
Right?
Just amazing. If people are putting on third-party events and they want to team up with you, I guess just reach out to you online.
Yeah, for sure. They can reach out through our website. Of course, they can email aaron.helmer@bbso.ca.
Okay.
That's always a great way to get in touch with us.
And again, you're at the Emerald Plaza. Your hours of operation is what, Hope?
So Monday to Wednesday, we are 10 to 6.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, 10 to 7. Saturdays, we're 11 to 6. And Sundays, 12 to 5. So we're open 7 days a week.
And if you want to get on that disco bus, get your tickets now. It will sell out guaranteed. We'll be right back after this. You can stay here and...
Remembering the Children, National Day for Truth and Reconciliation will honor residential school survivors, their families, and communities. On September 30th, honor the journeys and the wisdom of Indigenous elders, share their cultures, and inspire our children as we share the commemorative gathering, live from Parliament Hill in Ottawa.
Leonard Thompson, 13 years old, diabetes mellitus, 65 pounds.
Starve the child to let them live. The treatment's as cruel as the disease. It's a death sentence.
Dr. Banting, this could be it. He's the first to receive this trial. But will it save him?
It's not pure enough. So we try again. And again. And again.
Before the discovery of insulin, diabetes was a death sentence. Banting, Best, Collop, and MacLeod's breakthrough has saved millions of lives. Leonard Thompson's was the first.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
It's a new season of The New Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
Well, welcome back to the show. Buckle up, everybody, because we're talking a little comedy. They are on the Beauty and the Beast comedy tour. They're performing tonight in Carleton Place and tomorrow night in Carleton Place, and performing at Yuck Yuck's Biagio's as well. I'm joined by comedians Darren Frost and Lisa Baker. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
I won't ask who's the Beauty and who's the Beast right off the top, Darren. I'll let you guys discuss that amongst yourselves. But let's talk, first of all, a little bit of your history, Darren.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, because I mean, you've done it all. Comedy, TV, movies.
I've done a lot for a Canadian performer. I have.
Yeah.
Everything from being in the movie Hairspray to being the Listerine bottle. And I pretty much had
the Listerine
I was,
bottle.
yeah. In the 90s, I did a lot of mascot work. And I pretty much said, if you have a funny suit and some Febreze, I'll be your man. Pay the fee and I'll jump around like a monkey. That's Canadian showbiz right there.
Nice. And so were you always a comedian throughout all of those years?
I've been a stand-up comic for 32 years. I've done all the big festivals, but you know, in Canada you have to have multiple hats. So I've done like acting in movies. I do a lot of cartoon work now for kids, whatever can, you know, pay the rent and keep me going moving forward.
I hear you. Yeah, a starving artist is a real thing.
Yes.
Lisa, how about yourself? How did you get into comedy?
Oh, I'm not starving.
She's not starving.
I'm doing all right.
Okay, good. I'm happy
Her kids
to hear
are raised.
that.
Yeah, my
Because we've
kids are
got
raised.
some chicken wings over there if you need.
Now you're speaking my
All
language.
right.
Yeah, my kids are raised. I started in Newfoundland.
I couldn't tell by the accent.
About 17 years ago.
Right.
And I moved to Alberta 10 years ago. And that's when it kind of really kicked off for me.
Why the move to Alberta?
Well, like anybody else.
Just work and
chasing a lifelong dream of not being poor.
Yeah, I got you.
So,
how did you two connect, Lisa?
Darren, I actually opened for Darren very early in my career when there was a Yuck Yuck still in St. John's.
Yes.
And Darren was, it was you and Kate Davis when I first met you.
Yeah, and I remember her because she was doing some great work. And most comics will tell you you have to move to a bigger market, or at least get out of where you're safe and you're used to, because it's like you can't just perform to one audience. So I think I wasn't the only one who told her, you got to get out of here. And she chose Alberta. And Alberta's a really kind of big comedy market, like in Ottawa, for example. A lot of people don't realize that Ottawa's a very big comedy market, probably bigger than even Toronto and Vancouver in terms of...
Really?
Well, in terms of like star appeal and who have come from here.
Yeah, that's
you know,
a good
when you got a
point.
list of like Jeremy Hotz, Mike McDonald, Norm McDonald, Tom Green, and now you got Aaron Bilal, who's just on AGT.
Oh, my
I mean,
goodness.
You know, these are numbers that a lot of other towns can't compete with.
Yeah, I saw Aaron live at Yuck Yucks, and I was just absolutely blown.
Yeah.
Isn't he just? I've never seen anything like it. It was just amazing.
And you got to see it live. That's the thing about stand-up comedy. You can watch the clips. You can watch. I mean, even Lisa's huge on TikTok. It's not the same experience.
Right.
Live stand-up is where it's at. It's dangerous. You don't know what's going to be said. Hopefully you don't film it. I don't get canceled. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I hear, but you're correct. I'm a huge comedy fan. I've been going to comedy clubs for 30 years. I tried it myself many years ago. I was having panic attacks going on stage.
Sure,
so it's like, you know, it's not for everybody.
No.
It's tough. You mentioned, you know, that Lisa, Darren mentioned you're on TikTok.
Yes.
Tell me about, you know, that, because it's really taken off for you, hasn't it?
Yes. Well, during the pandemic, my daughter was just like, you need to get on TikTok. And people were sending me all these videos, and I really enjoyed the content that I would see on there. And then I was like, fine. And I was just kind of fed up. I was like, another social media app. And so I get on there, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So the first little bit, I'm just watching. And then I started making my own videos, and very quickly, I had videos go viral, got a ton of followers. And then it just kind of popped off right at the right time. We were getting back to live shows, and I just ran with that at that point.
How important, Darren, do you think social media is now for comedians in general?
It's the game changer.
Is it really?
You know, show business used to be a lot of gatekeepers. There's not not as many gatekeepers now. You can build your own following. And for example, with Lisa, she's a very opinionated person, and that translates very well into the video format. You can say something quickly in 30 seconds where people want, I want more of this. I'm going to come to see it live. Whereas before, you had to maybe see who's playing at the local comedy club, maybe see who they are online, and then it's kind of reversed now. So the power is within the comics kind of, appeal.
It's definitely, the power is definitely transferred back to us with the advent of like social media and the internet, simply because for years, like Darren said, the gatekeepers, the clubs, in order to build a following, you had to work the comedy clubs. And by doing that, they dictated the terms, right? So they paid you very little, you know, you weren't treated very well. And now we've reached a point in the industry where a comedian could have a very successful career without ever setting foot inside of an actual comedy club.
Really now,
And so I mean, I do very little comedy clubs now. I've done, I think this will be the third one I've done this year, and I have over 100 shows under my belt this year.
Because Darren, you know, from my understanding, speaking to comedians over the years, sometimes you had to be exclusive to one particular club, and you couldn't even go to, you know, another club.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the 90s and the thousands, but I mean, now it's a matter of you've got control of your own career. You get to dictate your own terms, and they're a business. They're either going to accept your terms or not. And whereas it used to be, if you said not, you had nowhere to go. Right. Now, like, we're doing our own shows everywhere. We're selling out on we're 7 days a week. Most comics only perform Thursday to Saturday. We're touring 6 or 7 days. I mean, even this week alone, we're doing 6 shows in 1 week. Right. Various towns, like we were in, you know, Pembroke. We're here. Carleton Place, Ottawa, Kingston on Sunday. She goes home for 3 days. I go to Victoria. I mean, this is what the world is. I mean, that's important that we have control over that.
How would you describe sort of your brand of comedy, Lisa?
Mine?
Yeah.
I guess just like brutally honest, exhausted, middle-aged woman would probably be the best way. That would probably be
how about you,
the best way.
Mine is very simple. It's a show for adults. That's it. It's adult comedy for adults. That doesn't mean it's always offensive, but it's appropriate for adults. Google me, watch a clip of Lisa. We don't want to punk anyone. It's a crazy show. People love it, and they go explosive because they hear things they're not going to hear online. And I just want people to know what they're getting. Branding's important.
And I appreciate that, and I think that's what makes comedy so important in any day and age. Is that oftentimes you're saying things that people are thinking, but they wouldn't dare say themselves. And this sounds exactly what people can expect, right?
Yeah, that's the comment I get from a lot of the women in my audience is like they'll say, I just love that you're just saying the thing that we're all thinking, but nobody will say out loud.
Thanks to you both for coming. Really appreciate it. Again, Final Score Sports Bar in Carleton Place tonight and tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. And then come back into Ottawa at Biagio's at 10 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you get your tickets before they sell out. We'll be right back after this.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting sober driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Hi, my name is Arkantel and I'm part of Encore Ottawa. My set will be coming out this week, so I hope you can watch it and enjoy it. Thank you.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
If you're facing Alzheimer's disease or dementia, you don't have to do it alone. There are people and resources that can help, and we'll connect you to them. Alzheimer's Society of Ontario. Our connections matter.
NHL on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. I am so excited, and you should be as well, because the Ottawa 67's kicking off their season against the Peterborough Petes tonight at TD Place. But better yet, stay home, grab a beverage, sit on your couch, and watch it right here on Rogers TV, because we've got a great team there, including Colin Zappia. He's the color analyst for the Ottawa 67s here on Rogers TV. He joins us in studio. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
You guys must, you must be just bubbling with excitement. I know the players are excited, and, the staff at the 67s and the coaching staff, but, from your perspective, you and Dan and Kurt, what's the excitement like for you guys?
We get invested as well, and I try to keep my space from the players quite a bit, but you get to know them over the years. You bump into them, you see them, and when the season ends so abruptly like it did last year, the anticipation to coming into the following year is pretty big. So we're there now. They kick off tonight against Peterborough, the team that took them out of the playoffs last year. There's a lot of bad blood between those two teams.
Revenge is on their mind, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. And I ran into a few of them yesterday at the gym, and they're ready to go. Like, they're set. You can tell they're nice and focused, and they're ready for tonight.
Let's talk about, the season abruptly ends for them, and, what happens in hockey, at this level in particular is there's lots of new faces. I know we've got 17 players, returning, but you've got players that are leaving as well. What kind of impact will we see? Who's leaving, and what impact do you think that'll have on the team?
So some big guys that are leaving. You have Cam Tonley, who played 5 years for the 67s, a real good leader in the room, on the ice, off the ice. So he'll be missed for sure. They picked up two really good guys at the deadline last year, in Logan Morrison and Pavel Minchikov. They've moved on as well, and you have guys like Jack Mateer, Anthony Costantini's also gone. Vinny Rohrer went back to Europe to play. So some big holes, and they just moved Jack Beck to Sault Ste. Marie. So there's lots of movement, lots of guys going out, a few new guys coming in, but that's the way junior hockey goes. And if you can continue to build that program where you're, the young guys are coming in, the older guys are moving out, they're learning from them, and that whole circle of learning leadership and work ethic and all that stuff, that's how you want to build your program. That's where they are right now.
What does the East Division in general look like? It's pretty tough this year?
The Eastern Conference is going to be tough. There's some pretty good teams. Sudbury's got a good young team. Mississauga had a real good young team last year. Oshawa should be pretty good this year. Peterborough is always good. But in the media poll that just came out, they picked Ottawa to win the East Division. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, last year Ottawa got no mention of being anywhere in the Eastern Conference in that poll, and they ended up setting franchise records in wins and points. So you just never know. You have to see how it plays out.
Was it like 18 in a row to start this? Like, I can't remember.
They won 17 of their first 18 games last year. Yeah, they went 9-0, lost a game, then won another 9, or they won 18 of 19 or something crazy like that. They got off to such a crazy start.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And they have most of their defensemen are back.
Okay.
Some good guys coming back. Both the goaltenders are back as well. So they're really stacked on the back end. Up front, they've got some key players, and Luca Pinelli, Will Gerrois is going to get lots of ice time, and guys like that are going to be counted upon to provide the scoring and the leadership in the room.
And to showcase the talent, I mean, some of these guys have already been drafted into the NHL, right?
Well, they had 4 guys on their roster from last year that got drafted.
Right.
And then one of their imports, and Tuomas Juronen, got drafted to Las Vegas. So, it's a big thrill for those guys going to Nashville, hearing their name called, and they all went to rookie camps and then the main camps, and they're back. And guys like Brady Stonehouse, who didn't get drafted, ended up going to Edmonton. So these young guys go there, they see how the pros are preparing, how they train, how they eat, how they conduct themselves off the ice, and they bring all that experience back to the locker room. And that's going to be really, really important. And you can see it. I saw it yesterday when I was in the gym. Matthew Mayich came down the stairs, and he had just gotten back from St. Louis the night before. Nobody had seen him.
Right.
And you just see the excitement for him coming
from all the guys.
Coming back. You know, how was it? This and that, and he got to play in an exhibition game, as did Stonehouse. So it's really cool when you see that. You can see that the team is really gelled.
Yeah, and I think, you know, any team, when you talk to players, they always say, you know, the room is great and our chemistry is amazing, and you know, that's the expectation, obviously, from them. But just from your perspective, you know, watching from afar or up close, what do you think about the chemistry in the room?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe the first year when the new coach came in, there was a bit of a feeling out process, and they may not have gelled as quickly as they might have thought or hoped.
Right.
But last year, they were all on the same page, and you could see when they got going and they put the coaching strategies into play and the game plan into place, nobody could stop them. And the results really came through, and you can see, you know, you interact with them off the ice and you can tell if there are any bad apples, and really there aren't a whole lot. I don't think there's one guy in that room that really, you know, has any negativity attached to them. So that's a credit to James Boyd and Jan Eggert, general manager, assistant general manager. When they're going out and drafting these players, they're really vetting them to make sure that they're going to fit in the room. They don't want someone to come in and upset the chemistry that they've built. And it's the same kind of a process they go through at the trade deadline. They don't want to bring in just a superstar to bring him in. They want to bring in key quality kids that are going to help on the ice, but also off the ice.
What sort of, I mean, you mentioned, you know, the back end is the strength of this team, but what kind of style of hockey do you think we'll see? You know, up-tempo or defensive-minded?
Yeah, no, they're very up-tempo. In the offensive zone, they're hard on the forecheck. Defensively, they're very well structured. But you can see, if you watch them coming out of the defensive zone and transitioning into the offensive zone, so much speed going through the neutral zone. And they're not a team that's going to dump the puck in. They want to maintain possession and really force the puck down low and force the defenseman from the opposition to work. And you'll see them, they get on that forecheck and it's crazy. They just cycle the puck around and they'll pin teams in their own end for 2, 3, 4 minutes,
really,
which is, it's really tough on the opposition.
You guys do such a great job, Colin. I can't thank you enough for coming in, because I know it's game day, right?
Game day,
you guys got to get, you're ready.
I'm ready.
He's ready to roll.
I want some wings. We're sitting in chairs this time. It's great.
We've got some. Janelle left some wings over there. Maybe we'll enjoy some. Thank you so much. And you listen, everybody at home. We'll be doing this every 2 weeks. So a member of the team, the Rogers TV on-air team, will be joining us to break down the 2 weeks that had gone by. So again, watch tonight versus the Peterborough Petes, the home opener, kicking off here on Rogers TV.
Hey, I'm Picasso in Vontief. I'm so happy to be involved with Encore Ottawa Season 3. I can't wait for you guys to see what I have in store for you.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Changing gears because we like to talk about a lot of different subjects on this show. And our next subject is divorce. And it can be incredibly stressful for people, not only the couple, but of course, you know, there's other members of the family. Children are involved, extended family members, friendships are involved when it comes to divorce. Well, my next guest has some great tips and advice for us. I'm joined by Suzanne Winlove Smith. She's the founder of The Clean Divorce and a family mediator. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So, Suzanne, the clean divorce, I mean, the first thing I think probably comes to everybody's mind is, oh, Suzanne's going to come in and make sure that there's no conflict and everything's going to be taken. What was the purpose? What was sort of your inspiration behind this?
Well, I've worked in many different court systems for numerous years with hundreds of families, and I've seen some really negative outcomes. And I really believe that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and nothing could be more true when it comes to divorce. A lot of times people don't get the proper support or the proper information.
Right.
There is so much misinformation out there, right? People have watched too much drama TV.
That's true.
Right? Like How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
Right? The emotions play a huge part in people's ability to be able to make good decisions.
And I guess it's seeing the right person too, right? I think you have to find the right fit. It's like anything. You want to find the right doctor. You want to find the right accountant. You also want to find the right person to help you through what most likely is the most difficult time in your life, right?
It is the most difficult time in your life because you're not just dealing with the ending of your relationship. No one thinks they're going to get married that, you know, it's going to end in divorce.
Right.
So it's incredibly traumatizing. The emotions skew people's perception. And sometimes people feed into this negative narrative, kind of like people like to watch a good hockey fight. They'll get involved and start to give you really bad advice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of misinformation out there. And when you're dealing with kids and families, I really don't believe that any family belongs in court. I think there's better ways to deal with it. These are people that are in crisis, and they need the proper support and guidance. Because how are you going to understand something you've never been through before?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned children, because I think that perspective sometimes gets lost, especially if you have a situation that's has a great conflict involved. Tell me about how families should deal with children properly.
Yeah, and this is really tough because while you're going through your own emotional turmoil, your kids are experiencing that on a deep level. Kids are very connected to their parents, and usually they're more aware of what's going on than you are, even as the adult.
Right.
So I'm actually a child of divorce.
So am I.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, in fact, that's why I became a family mediator.
Really?
Right? It had such a huge impact on me. So kids don't have a choice in all of this, and I see too many parents, they get into competing, and they don't realize that they are stronger when they work together. And just because they aren't going to be in a relationship any longer doesn't mean they can't be really strong co-parents, right? So thinking about the future, what do you want your future to look like? And what do you want your children to remember as well? Right? That's what we forget, right?
Yeah.
Do you think your kids are going to have their own conflict? Do you think life is going to be easier for them? Not likely. I think the world is getting more complicated.
Family mediator, Suzanne, what does that mean exactly, right? Because I think, again, movies and TV can skew these situations where it's lawyer pitted against lawyer, right? Is part of your expertise working with the couple themselves, like the two of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a conflict resolution specialist. So anyone under enough pressure and stress can behave badly.
Right.
Right? If you're in that condition where you've got all these stressors, maybe you're having to move into a new neighborhood, sell your home. That's listed as one of the most stressful things you can go to. Not to mention property division, the finances, maybe you have a business or a pension, your children, there could be addictions, there could be domestic violence, there could be all kinds of issues at play. Even the rates of domestic violence go up over 80% in and around relationship breakdown. Right. And that means normal people can just lose it. Yeah. So I think there's a better way to really support families. I think the world has become more divisive. Agreed. And I've witnessed that. And that was really what compelled me to start to really find solutions. And that's really what the clean divorce is about.
When you see, Suzanne, obvious conflict, right? You know you're going into the situation where these two people are going at it. Maybe one person, you know, is more responsible than the other, but there's conflict. How do you deal with that?
Well, I find that it's very easy, actually.
Okay.
And so for me, I think a lot of couples, they actually want the same thing, but they're looking at it from different angles. It's true what they say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different experiences. And an interesting happens when people are under stress. It can trigger a past trauma, something that has absolutely nothing to do with the relationship. And they start imagining all of these things, these horrible things. Everyone is looking at the problem. And when they get looking at the problem, guess what? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
That's why you see people in court spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for 5 years, and I've seen them. So I'm always happy when I get to talk to them, because a lot of people think, oh, I can't do mediation because I can't talk to the other party. That's exactly why you do mediation, because it's too emotional. Now, my father was a physician, and surgeons don't operate on their own family members for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it's too emotional.
Yeah. That's a great point.
You lose perspective.
I want to have a little fun with you. I've got 40 seconds here. Okay. You've got a celebrity cat. Am I right? You're a huge animal lover. Yes. And you sent me like a TikTok video of your cat. If people want to find your celebrity cat, what's the TikTok profile?
Jack the Ginger.
Jack the Ginger.
Jack the Ginger.
I couldn't believe. Anyway, maybe one day we'll have Jack on the show with you, right?
We would love that.
Because Jack does these crazy tricks and like on command, right? You don't often see that. It was pretty wild. It's been great sitting down with you. I really appreciate the time, Suzanne. And again, you know, divorce is complicated. If you want to sit down with Suzanne, you can visit thecleandivorce.com. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit StopTrackTragedies.ca.
It's a new season of the new Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
Hi, my name is Arkantel and I'm part of Encore Ottawa. My set will be coming out this week, so I hope you can watch it and enjoy it. Thank you.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. I'm smiling because we're about to talk theater, and if you know me, not only do I love theater, but this production absolutely blew my wife and I away. Monica and I went to see O Canada A with really no expectations on what we were going to see and hear, and it was one of the most amazing shows. It was so much fun. Here to tell us more about it and some of the great projects they have coming up with their campaign, Megan Chapman is the artistic director over at O Canada A. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And I mean that sincerely. We had so much fun. I told you, we've told all our friends and family about the show, but a really interesting history behind this show. Tell us about it.
So the show was running for 25 years in Niagara Falls. I actually met my husband when I was 21 doing the show, so like 15 years ago. And when we moved to Ottawa, I said, hey, like Ottawa has a ton of talent, but you know, there's not paid working theater gigs, not a ton of paid theater gigs here for locals. So what better spot for a Canadian show than the nation's capital? So now we're here. This is our 4th year in Ottawa. So it's been amazing so far.
Well, and you have to describe what the show is, because I think what impressed me the most is that it's like walking us through Canadian musical history.
Yeah,
right?
truly. Yeah. Yeah, we start basically from the 20s right up to music currently. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. The performers are your servers, so it's fully interactive, fully immersive. We're on the stage at 1 minute, we're down at your table getting you a nice tea or beer the next minute. So it's really cool.
And Canadiana decor as well, right? Like, so walk us through that, and the dinner's sort of the same, right? That Canadiana style.
So the space itself, we've transformed this second floor of Allegiant to be like a full cabin. We have like rainforest cafe style, Canadian forest out in the front, excuse me, and then when you get back into the room, it's a Canadian cabin. So we really make it like immersive and fully interactive.
Yeah, and you guys actually got me up. It was a bit of a surprise, and suddenly I became part of the production. I mean, that must be something you do each and every night, right?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's so cool to see how we can, now that we have been able to take a little bit more turns with the show because of COVID. We're able to, you know, interact a bit more with the guests, bring people up on stage. We come down to you. So there's a little bit of everything.
Let's talk about your campaign. You got a great campaign, and this is sort of multiple different things that are happening. Let's start with the Pay As You Can.
Yeah, so October 6th, we are doing a Pay What You Can and Bring a Can. So we're making theater more accessible to people who maybe aren't able to come see our show on a regular basis. We are doing a 90-minute version of the show. It's condensed, there's no dinner, so you just come, you can bring some of the kids. It's like lighthearted, easy. You can pay what you can and then bring a can, and we'll be donating that back to the food bank.
And another event that you're doing is Broadway Love. It's what, a musical cabaret fundraiser you're calling it, right?
A musical cabaret fundraiser for Rare Ronnie. So Ronnie is this incredible 4-year-old girl who has been diagnosed with MT8, so it's mosaic trisomy 8. It's a super rare genetic disorder. She's actually the 20th person in the world that is being studied on this. And so they just got into a study in Maryland, so the National Institute of Health. So we are raising funds, jumping on her GoFundMe to help her. All the proceeds from that Broadway Love show will go towards Ronnie and her trip, and hopefully finding some answers for the family.
How did you find out about Ronnie's story?
Ronnie is actually my niece. So my sister is the one who is running all of Ronnie's stuff. So we originally were doing a fundraiser for Chio, and then once we found out she got into this study in the States, we're like, okay, that's the focus we're going with now. Yeah. So it's really
if you're
exciting.
Gonna go, as I said, I highly recommend the show. So let's go on this date and raise some funds.
It's so great. All the performers have donated their time. The band has donated their time. We'll be doing a silent auction at the spot. So that's on October 18th. It's a one-night only event. So.
And you're doing something unique throughout November and December. So it's not every night, but you're interspersing a murder mystery, right?
So we are doing a murder mystery called A Merry Murder Mystery. And it's a little bit different again than O Canada A. It's actually written by a past performer from Niagara Falls, a great friend of ours. So it's, you know, we're supporting local all the time. We're putting money back into our own ecosystem, so to speak. And it's like a classic interactive whodunit kind of thing. So
cool. So is there music involved with this one?
There are a couple songs spread out throughout it, but again, it's like you're in helping solve this murder mystery, which is really cool. Yeah, Al Ketchum is the investigator of the whole thing, and you're a part of it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
it is, and I can guarantee you, because I did Murder Mystery Dinner Theater for 7 years with a local company here in Ottawa, and it's so much fun.
It's a blast.
It really is.
I love that every night can be a different show based on the audience and their interaction. So we're doing that select nights in November and December. It's a great, like a work party event too.
You know, when I mentioned, you know, that musical sort of history walkthrough, you start from when and it's sort of to the present?
Yeah. So we start basically in the 1920s. You'll hear songs like Log Driver's Waltz all the way up to like Justin Bieber and Celine Dion and everything now. So we really do cover a full gamut of music as well as genres and styles. So
as you said too, Megan, there's not a lot of opportunity, right, for paid you know, productions here in Ottawa. Do you have auditions throughout the year?
Yeah, we're always accepting auditions, so anybody can email us at any time, and we, you know, take them in, see how it goes. We have a rotating cast. I want to say right now we have 14 cast members and 5 people perform a night, so it's always a different show for sure.
Right on. As I said, huge fan. Thank you so much, Megan. Really appreciate it. Visit their website to get tickets, by the way. And again, that reminder, October 6th, pay what you can. Bring a can along as well. October 18th is the Broadway Love Musical Cabaret fundraiser. That is for Ronnie, Rare Ronnie. It's going to be so much fun and a great cause. We'll be right back after this.
On Rogers TV.
Hey, I'm Picasso in Vontief. I'm so happy to be involved with Encore Ottawa Season 3. I can't wait for you guys to see what I have in store for you.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Let's just review some of the topics we talked about in events. First of all, Ottawa 67s hockey right here on Rogers TV kicking off tonight. It is their season opener, also the home opener. Joined, you know, Kurt and Dan and Colin. They call a great game. They'll introduce you to some of the players throughout. A lot of new faces. So still exciting though. A lot of as Colin Zappia mentioned earlier on the show, a lot of media polls showing that they're picking them to finish first in the Eastern Conference. So it should be another great season. Darren Frost, Lisa Baker performing at the Final Score Sports Bar in Carleton Place. That'll be tonight and tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. And then they'll be here in Ottawa at Biagio's. That's sort of Yuck Yucks West. That is happening at 10 p.m. So they're going to make their way from Carleton Place to Biagio's for that one. Janelle from Janelle's Kitchen. She's going to be at Universal Grocer tomorrow from 1 to 6 p.m. That's at 140 George Street. She's going to be doing some great food. There's going to be some barbecue, some karaoke, a raffle ticket as well. And Thrive Select Thrift. They've got their holiday disco bus happening in going to Merrickville and Kempville. To find out more about that, visit their website. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend, everybody.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
At Celebrate Ottawa, we love showing you something a little different. We showcase remarkable people highlighting the city's diversity in arts, culture, sports, and nature. We will show you features that prove Ottawa is a vibrant and exciting city. We'll entertain you and we'll even teach you new things. Join me, your host, Lila Grind, as we explore and celebrate Ottawa.
I'm Derek Fage, and I encourage you to join me each and every weekday at 2 p.m. for an edition of Daytime